Alright, I have a deep, dark secret. This may either surprise you or it may just answer all your questions about me and why I am who I am. I actually used to be like a pretty big Luke Smith fan. I mean, like, think about it honestly. Our first names are basically the same, and we both went to university to study linguistics. I was getting into old ThinkPads in Linux from JV Schultz at the time. It was actually around the same time that I discovered both James and Luke. It was just during COVID, and I got their videos recommended to me. I'm like, oh my god, wow, this is amazing. I saw how he was using, at the time at least, he was using vanilla Vim to like write and do LaTeX, just like do like linguistics work. And you know, I was a fresh linguistics student. I saw that. I'd never seen such a way of like manipulating text before. It was purely keyboard driven. It was so cool. What is the point of this video? Well, today's video is basically me just talking about how I got into Vim and going over my first Vim configuration. So then, you know, if you want to get into Vim and you don't really know what you're doing, well, you know, I didn't know what I was doing too. So yeah, I saw how he did everything and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, I need to learn. So I installed Vim on my MacBook and I installed Pandoc, I installed all the LaTeX packages, and I just got to writing things. Yeah, I think now, without further ado, I think it's time to dive into my first beginnings into NeoVim because honestly, it's bad. Alright, so we're now onto my system, my normal system. You may be looking at this and being like, oh, where's your awesome configuration? I thought you were using awesome. Oh, it still says I'm using awesome. Huh. That's interesting. I'm not. I'm now not on awesome. Went back to good old Qtile. This is bliss, you know, it's very simple. I don't have to worry about all like the awful hooks and everything like that. But anyways, we're not here to talk about Qtile. I went back through my old dotfiles and I got two versions of my dotfiles. I have a more up-to-date one and I have the first ever push of my dotfiles to GitHub. Well, of my NeoVim vimrc. This is all configured in VimScript. I think the first immediate thing that stands out to me is that I am calling a color scheme right here, and the color scheme isn't actually like installed yet. And because I didn't know how to configure NeoVim, I honestly don't know. I thought, oh, because it's defined here, like it'll be fine, right? And it wasn't fine. It was stupid. Yeah, everything else pretty normal, what you would expect out of this. My leader key used to be comma. I don't know why. I said, what the fuck does, I don't know what the fuck this does. Are you kidding me? So if you don't know what this does, this means that if you just hit J twice in insert mode, it'll take you out of it. It's a very common, or it used to be a very common remap. I don't know if it is anymore. Why did I ever make this remap? Leader G to go to the end? That's crazy. Plus leader, comma, to go back to the last cursor position. But that's what the jump list is for, right? Oh, this was a legendary remap. This is a legendary remap right here. I bound space to this instead. So I literally just used space to hit like colon. And when I moved over to NeoVim and I learned about like leader and local leader, I started using leader as my space key. It just really confused me. Honestly, I don't use my local leader that much. Maybe I can like go back to doing something like this. I don't know. Nerd tree, I like never use nerd tree. I'm gonna be real. Okay, based. This, I used to use this. This is just so then when you hit O and like capital O, it just makes the lines instead of going into insert mode. This right here, I need to do again. This is actually a very good remap because right now, if I make a split, I don't know, like I can't resize it in a way that like is good to me. And this is when I use folds. So I hate folds now. Like I despise using folds. Yeah, I don't remember ever using this past me using normal Vim. So if I run this configuration right now, it's gonna say there's no color scheme because I don't install the color scheme beforehand. So we're actually gonna change that. We're gonna fix my old mistakes. So we're gonna go to color scheme paper, and then we're gonna go down here. If I go back, there we go. This is my color scheme. Let's go. Damn. At least I set cursor line. I've always been a cursor line enjoyer. Add line number. I don't know yet. What? I didn't know if I wanted line numbers in my editor. That's crazy. That's some crazy talk right there. Okay, let's move. My ting is in the way. This is the latest version. The latest version. This is my last commit ever before I switched over to NeoVim. I remember I watched this video, which I feel like everyone who's used and configured Vim, configuring NeoVim, anyone who's used or configured Vim, they've used this. They've gone 0 to LSP, NeoVim RC from scratch. And I got a config that I absolutely hated out of it, but it taught me a lot about how to configure Vim, and it was very cool. Oh, I remember this. So this just makes the background color completely blank, because I used to use a transparent terminal. I still kept this comment in. I used to be so scared of like editing my NeoVim config because I didn't know what anything did, and I didn't know that you can just like search it up. Set mouse A. Oh, I switched to Vundle instead of plugged. Awesome. Development / syntax plugins. I don't think I ever used the capability of like any of these plugins aside from like Emmet. I used to do this thing where I would try and separate my plugins into like different subsections to like organize them. And then when I moved over to NeoVim, I tried to do the same for a really long time. But like if you see my video now, if you look at my NeoVim configuration, everything is just in its own file. Every plugin's in its own file. All of these right here were for snippets for writing in LaTeX. I never understood how to use Altisnips or any of these snippets things. I remember trying to use the snippets and just not understanding. I used to use Monokai Tasty. Awesome, awesome. My local leader used to be minus. What a legend. Okay, my snips trigger. Okay, my snippets forward was Control B and my backwards was Z. Oh my God. What is this? This is gore. This is actually gore. Oh yeah, I stole this from, I think, a Stack Overflow thing. It's like a really, I don't even know what this is. This is just a way to like toggle spelling depending on like the language, and I used to use these because I would write things in like Spanish for class. Okay, I had IMAP to Control F. What does this do? Oh my God, I remember this. I remember this now. This is so sick. So what this does is that if you Control F, it will automatically pick the first candidate in your spell checking thing and just like correct it. This is sick. I'm gonna show this off when we load the config. F5 would put the local time. You can just, that's just a normal snippet thing now. And then these are just all my LaTeX stuff. Goes back to normal mode kind of shit IMO. Dude, I knew what was good. I also never used this. So Control G was for Goyo. I don't remember doing this for Goyo though. That's weird. I had leader M for setting, for like toggling this like relative number. This one I used all the time for Pandoc when I would like write in Markdown. These I still think are very necessary. I really like these remaps. This is still the most useless remap ever. I don't understand. Oh, it's mapped to Y $ by default. So I guess this didn't used to be behavior and then it just became like default behavior. I don't know, I don't remember. This is when I started to hate code folding and I just removed it. Cursor off, I'm pretty sure this is default. And then we're back down here to the GUI options. I clearly never used because I still had color scheme paper. I need to install Vundle. Now, you know, these kids these days they don't know that back in the day when you wanted to install your fancy schmancy plugin manager, you needed to actually install it. Okay, cool. So now we have Vundle. Plugin, install. Ah, yes. Lightning fast, lightning fast. Oh my God, yeah, Space is doing this. I forgot already. Oh my God. Leader F. Honestly, I was kind of balling with this. Yep, no backup. All right, let's go into like let's go into a project. So let's go into like Kilo. Wait, what's going on here? Wait. Oh my god, I think I've been so spoiled by like Tree Sitter. Yeah, look at this highlight, like look at this syntax highlighting. Like if I load this in NeoVim, look at this highlighting, and then loading it in here, it's just very plain. There's a part of me that also kind of likes this. It makes it, because like the other way makes like there's so many colors. It can be like overwhelming or distracting, and this is kind of like plain, you know? Wait, so if I go, this is something that I am typing. Oh, it only does actual errors instead of like things like this. I see. That's a cool remap. I actually think I'm gonna take that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thought it'd be interesting going through my old config when I first was like learning how to use Vim, not really understanding things, just to show that, like, you know, I'm still not a great Vim user now, but everyone starts somewhere. You should never be ashamed of being bad at something, because you can only be bad in order to get decent at anything. And yeah, that's it.